Good evening, everyone. I hope everyone had a pleasant day today. Well, quite a few people are here already. That's exciting. Faith Furlong. Hi, Will. I don't know if you remember me. I do. It's been a while. I haven't been on a year and a half. I had to lay low due to domestic violence. I'm back on board. Well, I hope you're doing a lot better and you're safe today, Faith Furlong. I hope the best for you. Janice, hello to all Kitty Coo. Good evening. Inner Peas, Lemon Pie. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you as well, Lemon Pie. Let's see. What is today in Serial Killer Calendar? We are the 6th of August today. Look at that picture. That's a nice drawing of Ted Bundy. Oops, didn't mean to slap it down on the table like that. August 6th. Today is Gwendol Graham, born August 6th, 1963, and Kathy Wood, born March 7th, 1962, are American serial killers convicted of killing 5 elderly women in Walker, Michigan, and in the suburbs of Grand Rapids, Michigan in the 1980s. Serial killer calendar. Kitty Coo told me about this, and I bought it. You can get it on Amazon in case anybody's interested in it. Pippa Dot, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia gala. You as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've gone through and my spare time, Kitty Coo. I just start reading, like a entire months. I've read January through May. I've read everything on different. There's a lot of serial killers in there and killers that I've never even heard of before. I saw a serial killer adulting coloring book on eBay. Callie Lisa, yes, they sell that on Amazon as well. The serial killer coloring book. There's the book. There's also like daily affirmations by serial killers. That's an actual calendar, where you tear off the dates. Like that, you put on your desk, and if you work, in an office someplace. I don't know if that would go over too well, but you could. I was thinking about getting that, but I've got this, and I got other calendars in the house. Samantha Muster McDowell, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. All the questions tonight are on BTK, Dennis Rader. Dennis Rader. Lori Sutton, Summon Shoes. Good evening to both of you. I hope you both had a wonderful weekend. Give it another minute here, and then we'll get this party started. And if you do enjoy it, please give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Leave one now live, or if you watch and rewind, leave a comment afterwards. All consider interaction, and it helps bump it up just slightly in the algorithm, so it's suggested out to more people who may enjoy it. I'll be crafting while guessing. All right, Samantha. What kind of crafting are you doing? Are you doing like needlepoint, crocheting, painting by numbers? I somewhere in here. I mean, it's in here. I have an entire thing that is paint by numbers. I've got the frames, the art boards, paintbrushes, all of it. I got it from somebody as a gift. It arrived at my PO box and said, "Thought this would be interesting for you to do in your spare time." And there was no name on the package at all, so I have no idea who to thank for it. But it was somebody in the U.S. because I think it was mailed from Iowa or Indiana, but don't know. Gemma, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. All right. 30 more seconds and then we get this party started. Again, all the trivia questions tonight are on BTK, Dennis Rader, the bind, torture, kill, serial killer, Dennis Rader. Thank you, Interpeas, for dropping the link to Gemma's channel. All right. Get the first question, first one up. Where's my little, get myself my little window here. Hey, hello. Hello, everyone. All right. So to go over the changes in trivia again from the earlier this year, after 8 questions, we will take a 6-minute break. There are 16 questions instead of 15. Tonight is a little bit different, and there are 2 bonus questions tonight. So there's a total of 18 questions. The bonus questions here are in a sneak peek that I post on YouTube on the community tab. That gives you an idea of what the trivia is going to be about, but that question is no longer used. The rankings are to each and every question are compiled, and you'll get them at the end before you can figure out, if you want to grade yourself or not. Totally optional. Charlie, good evening. Do you have closed captions CC? It should be activated right now, Charlie. I'm sorry if it's not. I have no way of actually going to YouTube right now and doing it. Will, do you have CC? It should be turned on right now as I'm actually talking. It should be, closed captions should be enabled right now. But I have no way of that. I'm not on YouTube. I'm actually streaming to YouTube. I use a third-party streaming service. It's called Restream. And I stream to YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Discord, and Facebook. Where's Winks? Pretty Camo. Good evening and welcome. All right, next. But this is the first question for the night, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to being a sadistic killer and a scrapbooker, and yes, he was a scrapbooker, Dennis Rader also volunteered within his community. Let's hear it for the boy. What did he do for his volunteer work? Was it A, he was a president of his church congregation? B, business person of the year? C, he fostered kittens? Or D, president of the Boy Scouts of America? I don't know. Don't know where Winks and hopefully I would assume that Winks is probably taking care of her husband right now. Reichardt probably busy. If he's not gonna be here later. A, D, and D. You lost your hearing, Charlie? Oh, I'm so sorry, Charlie. Lemon pie, an exotic dancer. Little bit of Sandra. Good evening, little bit of Sandra. Faith Furlong, good evening and welcome. And yes, for Faith Furlong, I do remember you. I didn't think it had been a year and a half though. I truly hope again that you're doing better and you're in a safe place today. F, led the Christmas parade. Question number 1. In addition to being a sadistic killer and a scrapbooker, Dennis Rader also volunteered within his community. Let's hear it for the boy. What did he do for his volunteer work? Was it A, president of the church congregation, B, business person of the year, C, fostered kittens, or D, president of the Boy Scouts of America? I'm safe. Well, good, Faith Furlong. The correct answer to question number 1 is A as in apple. He was the president of his church's congregation, although he did run a Boy Scout troop, but he was not president of the Boy Scouts of America. All right, moving on to question number 2. Dennis Rader had a lot of rage towards people he believed were unwarranted of love. What social group of people were these? Is it A, people of color, B, people who were gay, C, people who were single mothers, or D, people in positions with no authority? Dennis Rader had a lot of rage towards people he believed were unwarranted of love, and that is in quotes. That's exactly what he said of this group of people. They were unwarranted of love. Jersey Shore fans. Lemon Pie says Jersey Shore fans. Unwarranted of love. Excuse me. Question number 2. People with hair. We get some throughout the night here. I've got there are different slides that you can see. Pictures of Dennis Rader at different stages in his life. He had a lot of hair up until a point. He about right in his late 40s is when in his 40s. I mean, late 30s, 40s is when he really started to lose his hair, and then he decided to all out and out just shave it. From what I understand, he shaves his head right now. There's no hair on his head at all. He killed a family of 4, so I'm guessing D. Guessing B. B as in Buzz, Samantha, Mr. McDowell says. Charlie's going with D, question mark? Is it D? A little bit of Sandra is guessing D, or answering D. For question number 2, vegetarians. Inner P says E, vegetarian. All right, the answer to question number 2 is D as in dog. He didn't like people that he considered they were sub people. They did not have any authority, or they just went along with what everybody else, did or said, as the right way, or this is the way to do things. And so they never, pushed the envelope. They never made waves. They had no authority in their lives. He had a lot of rage towards these people, because you have to remember, Dennis Rader, in case you don't know this, was really into the B, and the T and the K, bind, torture, kill. But he was a sadomasochistic serial killer. He bound these people up in sexual positions, women, and then killed them. But he didn't commit all of his murders that way. Some of them he would bind them up, in different S&M kind of like, torture, and then he would kill them. Other ones he killed and then dressed them up that way, and put them in these outfits and did these things to them. Pretty sick, but Rykar, just joining, guys. I had to drive today. All right. They were wondering where you were, Rykar. I hope you are having a wonderful week, and thank you for joining us tonight. Moving on to question number 3. Well, first, this is a picture of Dennis Rader and his daughter on her wedding day. Yes, she wrote a book about him. Dennis Rader. He's got more hair there. Not a whole head of hair, but he's got hair there. All right, question 3. Underestimating the intelligence of others never really worked well for Dennis. Several times he was fired from his job for doing stupid things. Why did ATD, that is the home security company, why did they fire him? Was it A, taking naps on the clock? B, lying to coworkers about their boss? C, killing his coworkers' wives or family? Or D, spreading lies about the business? Why was Dennis Rader fired from ATD, the home security company? Nobody puts little Samantha in the corner. Dennis Rader. Meth, you go Mountain Lions. That's funny, Cement Shoes. Ride Card's going with B. Lemon Pie A. Gemma going with D. Kitty Coo going with A. Lemon Pie E. Not knowing how to spell ATD. Janice is guessing B. Charlie's going with D. Why was Dennis Rader fired from his job at ATD Home Security Company? Question number 3. Limplied just a tad. That's funny, Samantha. DAT. Why was he fired? JDR, welcome to tonight's trivia, JDR. BTK, BK are a match made in hell. All right, question number 3. The correct answer is D as in dog. He started spreading lies and rumors about the business ATD, the home security company, because he was tired of doing the installation. And also, some of the people who had ATD home security systems installed in their homes did so because they were afraid of the BTK killer. He killed people that he actually installed security systems for. Some of the rumors that he spread about the company was that their system was easily beaten by, an amateur burglar, that it wouldn't work, in certain circumstances, and that the company knew of flaws that were in the actual system itself and reporting system, and none of it was true. And when his bosses found out about it, that he was spreading these lies and rumors about the company and the product, they said, "Look, we're just going to have to part ways," and they fired him for doing so. Just another one of the series of jobs that he had that he got fired from for, doing stupid things. All right, question number 4. Victims come. I've got better things to do than to talk to you about something you have no clue about. End quote. What was Dennis Rader talking about when he said that? Was it A, the murder of Selma Watkins? B, the murder of the Otero family? Or C, the torture of Jane Doe victim? Or D, mountain lion taming? Victims come. I've got better things to do than to talk to you about something you have no clue about. End quote. What was Dennis Rader talking about when he said that? We got right card going with B, Janice B, Callie Lisa A, Lemon Pie A, Pippadot B, Gamma is going with C, Kitty Cool B, Inner Peas is going with E, watching Armchair on YouTube. And a little bit of Sandra is going with C. Oh, idea. No idea. No idea. Take a stab in the dark, Samantha. It's going to be A, B, C, or D. Lori Sutton is going with B. JDR C. Lemon Pie. His exotic dance routine. Right card. E. Berry morphutamine. Yeah, on the Washington State coastline, they closed down the beaches. I believe it's Ocean Shores or Seaside or something like that, either Washington, Oregon, but it right there. But they closed it down because of a mountain lion has been swimming in the ocean, and it's been going up and down the actual embankment there. So they closed the beaches, and a little girl was actually attacked by a mountain lion. So I guess that's like what, the third one this year in the whole United States, the third time someone's been attacked in 2023 by a mountain lion. As Cement Shoes will tell you, mountain lion attacks are a lot rarer than you think they are. They don't happen that often. Gemma is a gem? Yes. All right, question number 4. The correct answer is B as in boy, the murder of the Otero's family. He murdered 4 family members. He murdered Joseph, who was age 38. That's the father. Julie, who was age 33, the mother, and 2 of their 3 children. Young Julie, age 11, and Josephine, age 9. The only survivor was Charlie, who wasn't at home at the time, and that happened January 15th, 1974. He murdered the entire family. He says, according to him, it was one of his first murders. But when they asked him to elaborate on, was there a murder beforehand? What was the murder you did beforehand? He would not talk about it. Was it, on the 14th through the 1st of 1974? Or was it actually years later or a year earlier? He wouldn't say. But he confessed to dozens of crimes. A lot. There's been like 6 recorded in North America since 1900 or some such. Yeah, it's very rare. There have been actually more attacks by panthers in the Everglades than there have been by mountain lions. Because after you told me about that, Cement Shoes, I actually looked into that. It's very rare, and a lot of times people they think that they were attacked by a mountain lion, and it turns out that it was either a wild dog or a coyote, and they associate it. They're like, oh, it was a big, vicious animal. It wasn't a mountain lion. Mountain lions don't want to deal with human beings, just like most animals. But they will protect their young. If you get between a mom and her babies, just like humans, don't you get between a mom and her baby. They're going to kill you. They're going to mess your ass up. All right. Moving on to the next one. All right. Very rarely do we ever hear about the family of serial killers, but Dennis and Paula had two children, a son and a daughter. The picture that is shown on the screen here, that is on the right, that is of Dennis Rader, his daughter, and his son. Yes, they had two children, and of course that's Dennis helping his daughter put the star on the Christmas tree, and that's his daughter as a teenager also fishing on a family vacation. Stranger Beside Me Now and loving it. Well, that's good, Pippa. That's a good book. I have never actually physically read it. I have the Kindle um, version of it, and so I keep on meaning to buy the actual book though. All right, question number 5. Dennis Rader came up with his own nickname for the media to refer to him, but not at first. He tried on which one below besides the BTK Strangler and the BTK Murder. Not murderer, murder. Those were two of the original things that he came up with. But which one below did he also pick? As a he signed letters that he sent to the media and toyed with the police with. Was it A, Murder Man Strangler MMS, or B, the Madman Strangler just MS, or was it C, the Kansas City Madman Strangler KMS, or D, the Unidentified Perpetrator Killer, the UPK? Don't mess with a mama and don't mess with a mama's babies. Uh-uh. Not humans, not animals. Don't do it. In Spokane, Washington, when my mom was in the hospital there, me and my sister went when we got Subway. We went to a park to eat, our lunch, and we mistakenly pulled into the park, and we were between a mama moose and her babies, and that mama moose was one pissed off moose. She rammed the side of my sister's car, well, totaled it, but she hit that thing full force, messed that car up. It was a really nice car. It was a Pontiac, but still, we just pulled into the parking lot. We didn't know her babies were on the other side, and Mama was on the opposite side in the grass. Right cart, you're craving Burger King. Burger King's not good for either of us, right cart. You know that. But Dennis Rader came up with his own nickname for the media to refer to him. But not at first. He tried on which one below besides the BTK Strangler and the BTK Murderer. Which one of these did he come up with and use first? Aren't humans a moose natural enemy? I would assume so. Besides wolves and bears, I think they're probably the only things in the wild that can take them down. And then humans, wolves, they would have to do it. They would do it in a pack, or a Kodiak bear, or I don't know if a brown bear would even try, or a black bear. I don't know if they'd even try to take down a moose, but a Kodiak will. Kodiak will mess anything up. Okay, Furlong's going with A. Pippa dot A as well. Burger King has way too much salt. Me personally, I'm not worried about the salt part of it, cement shoes. It's the sugar and the fat. It's not good for me and my waistline at all. But I hardly ever eat fast food. I try to stay away from it as much as possible. JDR is going with A as well. What did he try from this list as a nickname for the media to refer to him as? He signed letters that he sent to the newspaper, and he signed a letter with this to the actual police. Question 5. The correct answer is C as in cat. The Kansas City Madman Strangler, the KMS, was one of the first ones that he came up with besides the BTK Strangler and the BTK Murder. He came up with the KMS, which stood for the Kansas City Madman Strangler. Cheryl Pugh. Going with D. Peas, no veggies. What do you eat? Carbohydrates, no, and sugar makes you gain weight. This is true. Yeah, you'd be surprised, ladies and gentlemen, just how much high fructose corn syrup and where you can find high fructose corn syrup and so many different foods out there. As we've made food cheaper and faster in an industrialized nation, we keep on adding more and more chemicals and high fructose corn syrup to everything. If you just go to the store and into the freezer section, pick up a bag of frozen French fries. Look at the ingredients that are in frozen French fries. You think that they're just potato? They're not. There is a lot of stuff that has been added to it that's be shelf stabilized so they don't stick to each other. All kinds of things that have been added just to French fries, frozen from your freezer section. Now, just imagine what is in the oil, when you go to like fast food. I mean, I'm not telling people to not eat this stuff. I'm just telling you from my own personal experience, from trying to like cut, certain things out. But a slice of pecan pie in December is mandatory. It is. That is awesome. I love pecan pie. My mother-in-law makes me my own personal, it's about an 8-inch pecan pie. She makes it every year for Christmas for me. I just sit down and I just take a slice, cut it in half, the whole pie in half, and I eat half of it in one day and I eat half of it the next day. So good. All right. Moving on. Question 6. It's hard to live a double life, especially if you are a well-respected member of society and a sadistic killer. What did Dennis Rader's wife think he was doing away from home all that time? Was it A, fishing with friends, B, going to college, C, working extra shifts, or D, having another affair? What did Dennis Rader's wife, Paula, think that he was doing away from home all that time? Ooh, a lot of people guessing C, going with C so far. Lemon pie, going with D. Hunting moose. E, fishing. Eating at Burger King. So Callie Lisa, eating at Burger King. Making sense if he thought brought home extra money. Hello, Lieutenant RN. Good evening. I hope you are doing well. Thank you for joining us tonight for trivia. Sandy Ritt is going with A, and welcome to trivia, Sandy. I hope you are doing well and had an excellent weekend. We are currently on question number 6 about Dennis Rader, the BTK killer. I eat summer salad all summer and lettuce in the winter. Love most veggies. It's my daughter. she loves like peas. We were talking about peas earlier. She eats them frozen though, frozen peas. Even if I pick them out of the garden, she'll take them and put them in a bowl and put them in the freezer and freeze them, and then eat them like sugar snaps. Just that gets that extra snap to them. But she likes them frozen. She always has, even as a little kid. Purple, there's Purple. Welcome, Purple. I hope your husband's doing better. All right, question 6. What did Dennis Rader's wife think that he was doing away from home all that time? She thought that Dennis was working extra shifts. C as in cat is the correct answer to question 6. The day his daughter graduated from high school, hours later, Dennis was out hunting for his next victim. The day his son graduated from high school, Dennis was worn out. He was tired because he killed the night before. When they graduated from high school, that's according to him. Now, this question 7, is in controversy. Okay, I'll tell you about it after I read the question. According to the Kansas State Police, the ATF, and FBI, there is only one victim that ever got away from Dennis Rader and survived. Yet there have been 109 people online who have said they survived his attempt to kill them. Who is his lone survivor? Is it A, Kevin Morrell, B, Catherine Tensions, C, Kevin Bright, or D, Catherine Sanders? This question has whichever the one it is, okay, and I'll tell you what the answer is. That's what it's in yellow there. It says this question has over a dozen different answers online. You may believe any of them or none of them, of those stories, not of the correct answer. But there are the last post that is on the Facebook group of people who got away from Dennis Rader. The last post was in 2007. So, but there was 109 people in there, and I had assumed from going through the Facebook page that they all said that they were a victim or Dennis Rader tried to kill them. But according to the ATF, Kansas State Police, and the FBI, there's only been one person that has ever survived, Dennis Rader actually trying to actively kill them. My hubby just had a 7th vascular surgery. Finally found a brilliant surgeon. Well, that's good, Janice. I'm praying for your husband. Maureen. Good evening, Maureen. Long time no see. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thanks. Interesting. Well, good, Sandy. We play trivia every single Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I have lost track, but I think this is right around the 170th trivia night, 180, 170. I've lost track, and I keep on meaning to go through these and count all the sheets up. Inner Peace is going with E, Mountain Lion. This surgeon is freaking awesome. Saved his legs. I'm thankful. Well, that's good. Question number 7. Who is the lone survivor? The lone survivor of Dennis Rader, according to the Kansas State Police, the ATF, and the FBI, they all agree that there is only one person that has ever survived Dennis Rader actively trying to kill them. Question number 7. And you may be wondering why Dennis Rader would be investigated or how the ATF ever got involved with Dennis Rader. The man had an extensive arsenal of weapons, guns, rifles, and other explosive devices, and none of it was registered to Dennis Rader. He never registered any of it, and he was required to. None of it was purchased through legal channels, most likely. It was all probably purchased, what do they call it? Straw purchases, I think is what they call it. Well, I'm hoping everything's getting better, Purple. All right, question 7. The correct answer is C as in cat, Kevin Bright. Kevin Bright and his sister came home, and Dennis Rader was in the home already, and he attacked them both. He tied up Kevin and then stabbed him multiple times. Then he killed his sister, Catherine. Catherine Bright was the victim, but now that's the actual, according to the ATF, Kansas State Police, and the FBI. Kevin Bright is the only lone survivor. Now, again, what it says there in yellow is there is over a dozen different answers to this answer online. Although the Kansas State Police, the ATF, and the FBI all say that there is only one person who actually survived an attack and Dennis Rader trying to kill them, and that was Kevin Bright. But then there are other people online who say that Kevin was the one that got murdered and his sister was the one that got away. But doing the internet search of Kevin Bright, I can't find a tombstone for Kevin, but I can find the tombstone for Catherine right next to her parents. I don't answer the door for relatives. That's a good way. All right. Question 8. When a serial killer is believed or rumored to live in your area, you will go to great lengths to protect yourself, your family, and friends. Installing a security system didn't work. In the area, how much did gun sales increase while Dennis Rader was actively killing? Was it A, 10%, B, 28%, C, 31%, or D, 88%? How much did gun sales go up during his active killing spree in Kansas? I let my dog answer the window before I go towards the door. There you go. My cats do that. Of course, they have a cat bed that's right next to the window by the front door, and they poke their heads up and they look out. And then I have the Ring doorbell. I mean, first off, you have if it's anybody at all, it's going to be one of my neighbors is going to be at my door. It's not going to be a family member because we live in a housing community in an HOA, so which I'm not exactly fond of, but I have to deal with it. But you can't get in through past the security at the front unless you're on the approved list, and then you have to show your driver's license. So we don't get people soliciting or knocking on our doors or complete strangers. Welcome, April. There's our 144,000. My guy will try to eat the window if it's a stranger. LOL. By the time I get to the door, they are in the yard. Welcome to tonight's Trivia, April. I hope you had a pleasant weekend. I appreciate you joining us tonight. We are on question 8 right now. After this question, we will take a break for 6 minutes. So you can either go get something to drink, use the facilities, do whatever you need to do for 6 minutes. Question number 8. How much did gun sales increase in the area while Dennis Rader was actively killing? The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, is B as in boy, 28%. Gun sales, legal gun sales. We can only, come up with a statistical answer to the legal gun sales. That's not the people who are out there buying and selling them on the streets. But they went up 28%, and then they fell after Dennis. Not from the time that he was actively killing, but there was a lot of years there after he was actively killing before he was actually caught. But he went silent. He just stopped killing. But the gun sales decreased as during the point after the point of his active killing spree. All right, we will now take a 6-minute break. Steph F., good evening and welcome, Steph. Only 28%. Surprised at 28%. Legal. See, that's the thing. I've probably purchased in my lifetime, 50, 70 guns, rifles. And I didn't purchase them at a gun store, or a hunting store. I purchased them from other people. And I'll freely admit, before they changed the state law where I am and where I currently live in Washington State, we used to buy and sell guns and rifles online. And I never checked anyone's identification for what they were purchasing. They had the cash, and the cash was good. We sold them whatever. I've sold rifles, hunting rifles, shotguns to local business owners. I've sold handguns to complete strangers that I didn't even know their name. But we used to buy and sell trade, rifles and guns, and it was very common. And I would suspect that that happens all over, in the United States wherever it's legal. But I'm talking about the years before Craigslist or anything at all. This was back when before eBay. We used to do it on bulletin boards. You just post an item for sale, and it just happened to be that we could make more money and quicker money by buying and selling, especially during hunting season, rifles. And in the town where I grew up, in a small farming community there, people would post, flyers in the grocery store. You've got a Mossberg, 210 shotgun for sale. Well, duck season's coming up. Someone might be looking for one. But people do that stuff all the time. I don't know if they do that there anymore, but that's how we used to find people, and how we used to acquire the stuff and sell it. Will, do you ship to Northern Ireland? Oh, I know some people in Northern Ireland, though, who probably have a lot of stuff that they shouldn't have. I'm not going to mention any names, but they're connected to some organizations that you don't probably want around, or maybe you do. Just like at work, I just show up in time for a break. There you go. Well, I implemented the 6-minute break so people could get something to drink, or whatever they need to do, so they could actually get back in time and not miss any questions. It was requested. Seeing nothing, hearing nothing, say nothing. Absolutely true. Yeah, but here in my state, they have definitely changed the law when it comes to um, possession and sales of uh, handguns, rifles. I mean, they did away with gun brothers, gun brokers. Those are two different Facebook groups that I used to belong to, but that was years later. But we used to buy things from them. Be surprised. You enjoy the 6 minute break? Well, that's good, Pippadot. Who decided six minutes for the break? My voices are asking. uh, I decided on the total length of time, 6 minutes. I figured, I didn't want to do 10 minutes, and I thought, well, 3 to 5 minutes might be too short amount of time, especially if you're like in one room and you have to walk to another room and to make yourself a cup of tea or make a sandwich, whatever. So I just randomly just picked 6 minutes. But after deciding, look, what's a good amount of time, but still not too long. The break is good. Lemon Pie enjoys the break as well. Sheeple to the regular 5 minutes. LOL. I haven't heard the word sheeple in a long time. Dale Carnegie suggests making odd times. So 6 works, it's not 5 and it's not 10. Huh. I didn't know that. Riker, are you going to Burger King? Riker could be at Burger King right now. Chuck Woolery, Love Connection, used to say, we'll turn in 2 and 2. And he used to do that thing with his hands, too. Back in 2 and 2. Love Connection. I like that show. That was interesting to watch. Did they make a love connection? Are they going to go out on another date? Did it just not work out for them? Back in 2 and 2. All right, we're just about time to start again here. No. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Next question. Chuck Woolery. All right, question number 9. While an active serial killer, Dennis Rader wife Paula had seen a wanted bolo poster at the supermarket. Later, when Dennis came home from work, what did she say to him? This is according to him in his confession. So I'm not just randomly picking this one up, man. This is something he actually said that she saw the wanted poster. Was it A, the poster is of you, Dennis? Did she say B, be safe out there? Or C, that man wanted looks like a younger, thinner version of you? Or D, can you leave me your gun? What did Paula say to Dennis about the bolo? Be on the lookout is what bolo stands for. Be on the lookout poster that was posted at the supermarket. And it was of a drawing, a sketch, forensics sketch is what she was actually looking at. What did she say to Dennis when she returned home from work? Or when he returned home? E, you lie about your weight, says Inner Peas. Ooh, quite a bit of C's. What did Paula say to Dennis when after seeing the Bolo poster at the supermarket? It's the men's shoes. F, I want a divorce. Lori Sutton's going with A. Maureen is going with B. Cheryl's going with D. I think D. Lemon pie. E, I bought Doritos. Question number 9. Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its. All right. The correct answer to question number 9 is C, as in cat. And even after the conversation with him, saying, "Look, that the Bolo, the guy on that poster, looks like you, but he's a thinner version of you and a younger version of you." Even after all of that and everything else, she still didn't put it together that this was her husband, that he would be capable of doing anything like that. Remember, the man was the president of the congregation at their church. He volunteered with the Boy Scouts, and it was at one point was a Cub Scout, Boy Scout Cub master, the head of their group, not like Boy Scouts of America, but Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts. And that was mainly when his kid, I would assume when his son was younger. I bet that made him mad. But he talked about this in because they asked him point blank, did Paula ever believe that this was you, or was she what was going on? Was she aware of this? And he's like, no. And then he told the story about her seeing the Bolo up on at the supermarket, and like, huh? And still she didn't connect the dots. All right, question 10. Did Dennis Rader torture animals when he was younger? Yes, ladies and gentlemen, he did. For this question, the question is, was he a bedwetter into his late teenage years? A, yes, he did. B, no, he didn't. C, he never answered the question. Or is it D, mountain lions? It's always mountain lions. Earpiece. I'm not connecting the dots. JDR going with A. Rodcar going with B. Catalisa C. My peeps. Good evening, my peeps, and welcome to tonight's trivia. My peeps is going with A. Steph C. Kirikou C. April C. Lemon pie A. Purple A. Pippadot C. E. Actually, he took after Amber Heard. Oh, whoa. Is it too soon? That's a good one, Cement Shoes. Oh, wow. What she did to Johnny in the bed. How you doing? I'm doing great, my peeps. I hope you are doing great as well. E, it depends. Dun, 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 dun. My dog stepped on a bee. Ah. Them two are dysfunctional beyond measure. Samantha, have a mega pint. Question number 10. Did Dennis Rader, did he wet the bed into his late teenage years? For question 10. Yes, no, didn't answer, or mountain lion. It's always mountain lions, ladies and gentlemen. It's always mountain lions. Don't mind if I do. Cinema Shogun has a hilarious video about her. I bet. Recollections may vary. Recollections may vary. All right. Question 10. The correct answer to question 10 is A, as in apple. Yes, he did. He said he suffered from bad dreams and would wet himself at night. It wasn't an everyday occurrence, but whenever he suffered these bad dreams, as he called them, he would always wake up after he had wet himself. But this went on, to his late teenage years, and everything that I searched online, I could not come up with an actual age. It could have been 16, it could have been 18, for all I know. All he said was yes, he did, but it carried on into his late teenage years when he suffered these bad dreams. But he never elaborated on what the bad dreams were about. But all right, question 11. Nope. BTK, who inflicted pain for his pleasure, got life. This is the paper from June of 2005. Dennis Rader confessed to all the murders and then some. He wasn't just a murderer. Some of his intended victims were not home when he broke into their homes to kill them. So he robbed them. But he confessed to a lot of crimes all together to the FBI. All right. Next question. Question 11. Besides writing long, rambling letters to the media about how special he was, along with how he stalked the victim and tortured them, what else did Dennis Rader send the media? Was it A, did he send them flowers? B, did he send them candies and poems? Was it C, he sent them pictures of stuffed animals? Or D, did he send them clues on purpose of who he was? I wonder if you ever heard of, hadn't finished reading that. Come back here. I wonder if you ever had any head injuries. Asked Cement Shoes. I don't know if he ever did, Cement Shoes. It's a good question, though. Lemon Pie. E, video of his exotic dance routine. What did Dennis Rader send them besides long, rambling letters? You got D, E, megapoints. F, Cracker Jacks, says Cement Shoes. B and D could be arranged. Besides writing long, rambling letters, and if you ever get a chance to read some of them, I know on Law and Crime, they used to have some of them on the in their archives online. I don't know if they're still there or not, but if you get a chance to ever read and if you're interested in it, when I say long rambling letters, these letters would go on for page after page about everything and anything, about seeing this victim, how they wanted this person. He never referred to him as victim, so he saw this person, he followed this person, he went by this person's work, he saw what and knew their routine, and he would go on, and instead of just saying that'd be like a page and a half, about the description of everything about the person, where they worked, where they went to, on Friday nights with their friends. I mean, he spent an awful lot of time and was very meticulous about following his soon to be victims. Little bit of Sandra says B, poems. Or cement, or what you eat, popcorn. TBSB on steroids, says Samantha Muster McDowell. Question 11. Left-handed RN is going, no, B. Question 11. The correct answer to question 11 is B as in boy. He sent them candy and he sent them poems. Some of his letters, he actually put poetry that he had made up, that he actually came up with himself. Other poems were that he wrote in the letters themselves. The poems were, he took existing poems and he changed them, and then he wrote them in letters. And then additionally, he wrote in poems and sent it to the media, to the police, and he wanted them to know this poem was the BTK killer. That photo of BTK is too big. I can't believe the stupid crap that happened to me there at Giant Owl. Got his foot stuck in my gutter, going nuts. What the hell? Oh, John Benet Ramsey letter. Yeah, but he and the stuffed animals thing actually happened, but his thing was more that he loved to buy dolls, little girl dolls, and he would he would tie them up in bondage situations, and then he would take a Polaroid picture of the little doll, and then he would send that to the media, or he'd send that to the police. But in one case, he actually took a little girl doll, stripped it of all its clothes, tied it up in this meticulous series of knots, exactly the way one of the victims was killed, and then put her driver's license with the little girl doll, and then left it in a park for somebody to find. He did that again, where he left one on a street corner. He left these things where people would find them, but he never actually sent clues to either law enforcement or the police, media, with clues on who he really was. He wanted to make sure, damn sure, that they gave the proper credit for what he had done to him. Excuse me, but he never. He made the mistakes of getting too full of himself, and he actually asked them, through a series of coded letters that were posted in the paper, in the classifieds, if they could actually trace a floppy disk back and But the police were like, "Oh no, we can't do that. No, there'd be no way we'd be able to do that." But they were able to. They found that the floppy disk had files on it from the public library, where their cameras, and that that also connected him to his church and the church computer for what was on the floppy disk. All right, question 12. Active serial killer from 1974 to 1991. What was the longest stretch of time he went without killing between 1974 and 1991? Was it 3 months, 7 days? B, 13 months, 3 days, and 9 hours? C, 26 months, 1 day, and 2 hours? Or was it D, 13 years, 1 day, 8 hours? What was the longest stretch of time between 1974 and 1991 when he was an active serial killer where he took off without killing someone? 144,000 seconds. There you go, Interpeas. So we got our 144,000 reference from Cement Shoes, and we got it from Interpeas now. 10 years, 10 months. We got A and B, D and C. I think we got every one of them covered on this one so far. Which one of them is going to be the correct one? Kitty Coo is now in with C, which is 26 months, 1 day, 2 hours. What is the longest time between 1974 and 1991? The longest stretch of time he went without killing. I'm going to finish this journal. Good to see you, Will, and chat. Have been ill for a while, but thankfully feeling better. Well, good, Maureen. I hope that you get your health back to a point where you can participate more. We love seeing you around, Maureen. And thank you for being here with us tonight. Big towel might not work. If the owl is big, his talons are huge. Death traps. Yeah, that's true, my peeps. Cardboard box. Poke some holes in a cardboard box and put it in a box along with a towel. Lena Benesandra is going with C. Three-day trip for animal control, fish, and game will tell me a deal to deal with it. Wow. A 3-day trip to where you're at. Darn. But if I called animal control, it'd probably take less than an hour for him to get here. Where I am, at least. From 1977 to 1985. Maybe a net? Yeah, a net would work, like a fishing net. That might work. Good suggestion, Cement Shoes. Active serial killer from 1974 to 1991. What was the longest stretch of time he went without killing between 1974 and 1991? The correct answer to question 12 is A as in apple. 3 months, 7 days is the longest stretch of time between 1974 and 1991 where he went without killing someone. That's it. That's by his own accounting. But if you take the total number of years and months that are there, he would his actual death toll would be easily 4 or 5 times what what he said it was. But he was convicted of only 10 counts of murder. I'm going to just pull down the whole gutter so it won't happen again. That either that or I don't know. I don't know what he can really do to make sure it doesn't happen again. I mean, they have those leaf guard things, but I don't know if they have those in your area. You can put chicken wire over it. I guess if you have chicken wire, that would stop it from getting down into the gutter again. But I don't know. Maybe removal of the whole thing is what needs to happen. All right. Question 13. First off, here's a little bit of background on Dennis Rader. He was a husband, father of 2 children. He went to church. He actually volunteered a couple of times to teach Sunday school. He was a Cub Scout leader, a humanitarian, and a veteran. He honorably served in the United States Air Force and was discharged honorably. Small business owner, volunteered through his church to feed the homeless. On top of all of that, he was a sadistic sexual killer. Yeah, it's hard living a double life like Dennis. If you look at him, does he even look like a serial killer? Not as creepy as some of the other ones. He's definitely no, Night Stalker, or Richard Ramirez, or any of the other serial killers. But then I guess him and Teddy, that's how they got through life. Is they looked like the part of a normal person. Was he a Catholic priest? No, he was Lutheran. But I get it though. Yeah, he went to a Lutheran church. All right, question number 13. Of all of Dennis Rader's victims, one victim was different from all the rest. He didn't kill her the same way. He even took photos of her after killing her. Where did he take these photos? Was it A, in a city park during the day? B, in the church in several places? Or C, in the back seat of his wife's car? Or D, in the McDonald's playland? Where did he take these photos? Of all of Dennis Rader's victims, and out of all of them, even if his kill number is 4 or 5 times what he said it was, and what he was convicted of, even if it was that the number is that high, this is the only victim out of all of them that he did this to. Absolutely, completely different way, different methodology of killing her, different way of her being discovered, everything. F in a Yugo, says Cement Shoes. E, Burger King. Yeah, it's his talent. I'm going before he breaks his stupid leg. Those talons are like little razors, though. Be careful, my peeps. Be very, very careful. Question number 13. Dennis Rader, one victim was different from all the rest. And very, very different from all the rest. JDR is going with A. Purple going with B. Inner P Cement. Down by the river. Yeah, that's a good idea, Kitty Coo. Cover its eyes so it can't see. throw the towel over the top of it. Little Sandra is going with B as well. For question 13, the correct answer to question 13 is B as in boy. B in the church, his church in several places. Her name was Marina Hedge. Now, you might want to mute this if you don't want to hear the sick and disgusting, part of this. So mute it, and I'll give you. Then I'm going to tell you a couple of things about what he did. First off, he killed Marina Hedge at her home. Then he put her in the trunk of his car and took her to his actual church. He bound her in an S&M fashion at the altar at the church. He took several Polaroids of her in this sexually, provocative, positions all over in the church, at the altar, at the pew. There were several different places. Then after he was done with everything that he wanted to do with her, he then put her back in the trunk of his car and then took her and dumped her in a ditch. It's the only victim that he's ever tied up this way. It's the only victim that he has taken elsewhere to another location to take the photos. Now, he's done this to multiple victims within their own home, or wherever he killed them, but it's the only time he's ever taken a victim someplace else. The FBI in the actual, what would you call it, report on him, in his background, they believe that he did this. He took her to his church because it was someplace that he went every week and he could relive and re-fantasize about what he had done there at the church. And it's also the only victim he's taken someplace else and disposed of her body. He dumped her in a ditch, naked, completely naked. No clothes on her at all. Just tossed her away like she was a Burger King wrapper from a Whopper. Welcome, Mazahid. Glad you could be here with us. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling up. I obviously know very little about this criminal. JDR, a sexual sadist, serial killer from Kansas. All right, next question, 14. Let's face it, Dennis Rader was out there today killing. It wouldn't take long to catch him. He was caught on camera several times. They knew what he looked like. They knew what he drove. They even had his DNA. What clue did he leave in a mall parking lot? Was it A cereal box serial killer with BTK on it? B, a doll tied up with the victim's driver's ID, driver's license? C, a poem and a box of cornflakes? Or D, a note on a stuffed animal? What did he leave in the mall parking lot? All right, my peeps, you be safe. His Yugo filled with meth, says Inner Peas. What clue did he leave in a mall parking lot? Pea stained sheets and stuff. Jersey Shore fan club card says cement shoes. A makes more sense. I think Frosted Flakes, or something like that, says Kitty Q. Toy Airy, welcome to Trivia, Toy. And Toy is going with B. And it's going to go to C. Question number 14. Credit Crunch. Question 14. The correct answer is A as in apple. A box of cereal that he wrote BTK on. Question number 14. The correct answer is A. He left it in the mall parking lot that is less than 2 miles from his actual home. Don't know why. Like I said, he left a lot of clues for law enforcement and for other people to find. But at the same time, he acted like he didn't want to get caught, but he wanted to get caught. You think somewhere deep down inside, he probably wanted to get caught so he could actually, have that notoriety that he always had sought out. Bad British joke, credit crunch. But A as an apple, a cereal box serial killer with BTK on it. All right, question number 15. Oh, did you know about Dennis Rader? His favorite dessert is vanilla ice cream. His favorite musical band or artist is Gordon Lightfoot. And his favorite car is a 1965 Chevy Impala. He never owned one, but his dad did. His dad had a dark blue and baby blue 1965 Chevy Impala. I don't believe that the car came in that dark of a blue originally, so I believe the car was a repaint. There is a picture online that you can find of Dennis Rader as a teenager standing next to the car with his father. And his father looked an awful lot like him, just a lot thinner. He wasn't as heavy set as Dennis. Not a Yugo, nope. And these answers of his favorite dessert, music, and car come from a fan who actually wrote him. And they used to have a correspondence before he just abruptly stopped. He stopped answering letters. I think that, he moved on. This person that was writing to him, that a pen pal, was bored. They bored Dennis. So I don't know if Dennis writes to people anymore. He can if he wants, but don't know. There are a lot of people out there that, and some of the letters that he wrote, you can find in the Serial Killer Crime Museum in Los Angeles, California. They have several of his letters there at the museum. All right, question number 15. Believe it or not, Dennis Rader has the possibility to get out of prison someday. If only he can live long enough to see that day come. How many years will he have to serve before they will consider him for parole? Is it A, 155 years, B, 167 years, C, 175 years, or D, 199 years? Believe it or not, Dennis Rader has the possibility of parole. E, 144,000 years. Your dad had a 76 Impala Nova that we were fixed up and raced, but my dad didn't kill American citizens. When me and my family were involved in stock car racing locally, we were never like NASCAR, but we have a local racetrack here. We had we raced in three different divisions. We raced in one division is called mini stock, and we had a Volkswagen Rabbit. And in street stock, we had a Javelin, and we also had a Nova. I don't remember what years the Javelin or the Nova were, but then the racetrack closed down. It's still there. They just reopened it. That had to do a lot with the ownership and stuff like that. But that was back in the 80s. He most likely thought he might get caught, but mainly I think the clues left was to show he was smarter than law enforcement. Well, he definitely believed that he was smarter than all of them, and that never worked out in his favor ever. Always thinking that he was outsmarting everyone. And all the years after 1991 until he was caught, I mean, they probably never would have caught him if it wasn't for the fact that he just had to. He started right back up again, not killing people, but communicating with law enforcement and with the media. He just went cold. Nobody knows why, and he won't talk about it. Drag raced. Well, that's cool. We never got into drag racing. I have a nephew. Well, no, he's not a nephew. So, my uncle's son, right? Whatever the hell relationship that is, I always get them confused. But he used to drag race motorcycles, and that boy's broken every bone in his body at least twice. But he don't do that anymore. Now he's into business management. He works for some Fortune 500 company. Pretty smart kid. But when he was younger in his 20s and 30s, he really was into that drag racing motorcycle. Pacific Raceway is only 10 miles from you. I know where the Pacific Raceway is. We used to race where I live here, but we also used to race up in Spokane at State Line, and then in Hermiston, Yakima Raceway. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the answer to question number 15 is C as in cat. His actual parole date of eligibility. He must serve out 10 consecutive life terms, 175 years, and then after that, they will consider him for parole if he is still alive. He has the option of parole after 175 years. His sentence of 175 years. But hey, at least he's got that to look forward to, right? All he's got to do is live 175 more years. All right. Question number 16. Which novel by Stephen King was said to be inspired by the real-life events of Dennis Rader? This is according to Stephen King. Is it A, Kingdom Hospital, B, It, C, The Long Walk, or D, A Good Marriage? So you're saying there's hope, right? That's all he's got to do is live out 175 years from, well, no. Okay, so he only right now, he'd only have to live out another 155 years because he was convicted in 2005. So he'd only have to live out, well, not even 155. So this is 2023. So yeah, you guys do the math. My head hurts. Better late than never. Welcome, Marina. Question number 16. According to Stephen King, what book was inspired by the real life events of Dennis Rader? Question number 16. Don't forget, there are 2 bonus questions tonight. I would think if I was married to someone that is a serial killer, you'd think that there would be clues that you'd like, oh, there are a lot of strange things that this individual has, or gifts that are that they give you. It's like, why would you buy me something used like that? Or you think there'd be clues that would tip you off, but I don't know. People can be blinded by love. We get into our routines. Maybe it's so that you just like there's a simple explanation to it. And you just don't question it. Or maybe it was the times and the relationship. And she didn't question it, but she never did. Marriage is an anagram of grim area. Huh. I never thought about that, Samantha. Which novel by Stephen King was said to be inspired by real life events of Dennis Rader? He was a boring, mediocre guy. I feel bad for her and her kids. Yeah, that's true. 45 years next month. Yikes. That's how long you've been married, Janice? 45 years? Me and Crystal have been married 27. Someday we'll make it to 45. But 27 years, me and Crystal have been married. And congratulations on 45 for you and your husband, Janet. All right, the answer to question number 16 is D as in dog. A Good Marriage by Stephen King, he said, was inspired by the real life events of Dennis Rader. D as in dog. Question, bonus question. Well, first, this is when Dennis was born. Has he died? No, he is very much alive in the El Dorado Correctional Center. He has been given a sentence of 10 consecutive life terms with parole after serving 175 years. Good old Dennis. All right, bonus question number 1. Has Dennis Rader ever been clinically proven to suffer from either a sexual psychopath or a psychopath or a sexual sociopath? Give yourself an extra bonus, if you know which one which one if he has been, or an extra if you know why he hasn't been clinically. You cannot just say that person meets these without clinically sitting down and going through and talking to the individual. Everybody can be an armchair, psychotherapist, but if in order to be clinically determined that you are either a sexual psychopath or a sexual sociopath, you must be diagnosed by a professional who sits down over a course of several visits and talks to you and goes through your case history. Has he ever been determined to suffer from either? No, A, yes, he has been. Okay, I'm done. I missed a lot of stupid animals. now he can come back tomorrow and harass my chickens. Oh, they're peaceful. Let's ask Dr. Phil, who isn't even a doctor. Dr. Phil is not an active doctor. He did not pay to renew his actual license. But people still call him Dr. Phil because that's how we know him. We know him as Dr. Phil. Bonus question number 1. Or Dr. Oz. I don't know. I don't know if Dr. Oz is actually still an actual doctor or not. I just know Dr. Phil. I was reading this thing about him not too long ago. He just decided he didn't want to practice, anymore. So he decided to stop paying for his actual license to see patients. So he's not technically a doctor anymore. Phil is getting divorced. Yeah, that's what I heard. And you get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets a car. Thank you, Oprah. All right, bonus question number 1. Has he ever been clinically proven to suffer from either being a sexual psychopath or a sexual sociopath? The answer is A, as in apple. No, he has not. Give yourself one extra bonus, point if you know why, and that is because he refused to sit down with the actual clinical psychologist and psychotherapist to actually determine if he suffers from it. From the outside, it looks like he is a sexual sociopath, or he checks off more of the boxes as a sexual sociopath as opposed to a sexual psychopath. But that's just, from armchair looking at his case file and everything else, he checks more of the boxes on sexual sociopath. But he has not been ever clinically proven to suffer from either. All right, next bonus question. If a prisoner like Dennis Rader is sentenced to 175 years, can they put themselves into a cryogenic state to be thawed out at a later time once the 175 years has passed to be released a free man? That's a good question. A, no, they can't do this legally. B, no, the clock stops running once they are frozen. C, yes, they can do this if they have the money. Or D, yes, they could, but it doesn't work, so why do it? Could Dennis Rader put himself into a frozen cryogenic state? Then in 175 years from now, they thaw him out, and then he would be a free man. A northern horned owl? Marina, I'll go with A. Kitty Q is going with B. Steph is going with C. E. They don't feed him 2 mountain lions, so he couldn't. Someone watches too much television, methinks. Laura Bell. Good evening, Laura Bell. This is the last question on the trivia night, Laura Bell. You can watch and rewind, though. But I hope you're doing well, Laura Bell. E says, inner peas, they can turn him into his favorite dessert, ice cream. My peeps, I think it's A. Anything if enough money, right? Plus, I think if you're frozen that long, your head would disconnect. If a prisoner like Dennis Rader is sentenced to 175 years, can they put themselves into a cryogenic state to be thawed out later once the 175 years has passed to be released a free man? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is C as in cat. There are no actual technically, there are no laws that say that you can't do this. But every single cryogenic laboratory and place that does cryogenic state freezing of individuals, they will not do it on a live person. That person must be declared dead. And once they are declared dead, that is when the clock starts ticking for tissue damage and so on. Likewise, there we still do not have the technology, nor do we know if cryogenics actually works. No one has ever even, gone through the entire process of cryogenically freezing someone, then reviving them or trying to revive them on the backside of it. We've had people who've fallen into frozen bodies of water, but those are people who have been able to be revived and survived later on. But if Dennis Rader would want to go this way, or any inmate in the prison system would want to go this way, they would have to die first. But it is completely legal if they have the money. So if Dennis Rader wants to die without destroying the vessel, which is the body, and then be frozen for 175 years and then be taken out in 175 years, and then maybe technology is advanced 175 years from now, and they can say, well, okay, we now know how to revive an individual, take someone out of a cryogenic state, but how do you then make them alive again? So Woody Allen did this in his movie. All right. All the questions tonight come from Trivia Boss LLC, King Trivia Incorporated, and Podling.com, along with my own research. The 16 questions, not including the bonus question, are all ranked in the middle of the road at a number 5. This scale goes from 1 to 10, with 10 being the hardest. The bonus questions tonight are not ranked because they are my own questions. It will remain this way for the rest of 2023. What I mean by that is all of the questions are going to be right around a level 5. And the bonus questions will be from me. The wedding photo, that's of Dennis and his daughter, along with 2 of the 3 photos that are in the one slide with 3 pictures, are the property of Getty Images. These were used by me tonight because I paid for a license to use them. You may find them online, but it does not give you the right to use them without Getty Images approval, because they own those images. And all the other photos of, and pictures of Dennis Rader and everything else are used. They're an RF license, which is royalty-free license. They fall underneath in the area of open domain free use. Do you wish to grade yourself tonight on how well you did on the trivia? It's optional. You don't have to. Again, we are just doing this for fun and for knowledge. Add 2 points if you for both the bonus questions if you got them right, and an additional question if you knew that the reason why he didn't he's not been diagnosed that way because he refused to sit down and actually do it. Do the talk to him. You have a great night, Janice, and thank you for being here. You did badly tonight. Oh, well, maybe the next time we do it, you'll get better. All right, reminder, ladies and gentlemen, I will be on vacation from August 14th to the 20th through the 22nd of 2023. That's in a couple of weeks from now. I will try to do a live stream on the 19th while I'm gone, but there's no guarantee. It all depends on where I'm at in Chehalis, Washington, Centralia area if I have Wi-Fi connection. I will not be anywhere near town. When I told people yesterday in the stream that I would try to do it if I had Wi-Fi, and they're like, "There's always a public hotspot somewhere." I'm like, well, yeah, if you're in town, yeah, I could probably go to McDonald's or Starbucks or wherever I can and find a public Wi-Fi network, but I won't be anywhere near that stuff. I won't be anywhere near town when I'm in Centralia and Chehalis on the 19th. But I'm going to try my damnedest to be able to do one. That's Saturday morning, in case you're wondering about the 19th. But I'm going to be gone from the 14th to the 22nd. Enjoy my vacation. Well, thank you, Smith Shoes. I hope to. Telling all his friends about you. If it starts bringing you if you walk out your door and you find dead mice on your doorstep, that's the owl bringing you a thank you. I mean, my cats do it for me. Well, even if you have to find a Wi-Fi, don't do it. Go have your vacation, enjoy your time. Oh, thank you, Kitty Q. But every year, once when I'm gone for this vacation, I take the vacation every year at the same time for the same length of time. Every year that I've taken the vacation, I have lost between 200 subscribers because I'm gone. I don't understand it myself. I thought, noticed to the first time I posted it. It's like two weeks now from now. But I don't know. That's just the way life is. You don't put out content, people are like, "Oh, they must have quit. I don't need to be on this channel, watch this channel anymore. I can just go on and subscribe to somebody else." I wish it was different. I really do. I mean, even YouTube, they tell you if you're going to take a vacation or if you need to get away for mental health reasons, I'm not kidding you about this, what I'm about to say at all. If they say if you're going to, as a creator, if you're going to step away for any length of time at all, a week, 2 weeks, whatever it might be, a month, a year, 99 years, 175 years, whatever it might be, the moment you leave, you should start making community posts to keep your subscribers updated on when you will be back. I'm not joking. That's exactly what YouTube says I should do. They want me to, since I'm doing the first part of it, the first 4 days, to just recharge my batteries, to clear my mind of everything. It's just, they want me to make updates because they want me to keep on making content. So that makes them money. If I'm not making them money, let me hook you up and get pulled over in Washington. My nephew is a state trooper. Is he? I have a friend who's a state trooper as well. I don't know where he is at this point in time in the state, but he works at a way station. I don't know which one. I think it might be somewhere near the Cascades. I don't know if it's on the east side or west side. I only see him every once in a while from his Facebook post. Have a wonderful week. Until next time, you as well, Marina. I swear, I think YouTube unsubscribes people. I was subscribed, unsub 3 times, and I'm a mod plus I have channel membership. It happens, and here and YouTube actually put out a press release about this, and we know about it. There's a YouTube channel. It's called Creator Insider, and they give like news updates and stuff like that, like from behind the scene what's going on. But they actually put out a notice. This is what happens to a lot of channels. So over on your left side of of the YouTube homepage, you'll see like I'm talking from a desktop perspective, not on your phone, or a tablet where you have to like push the plus sign and drop it down. But on a desktop, on the left side, it's got the list of all the channels that you subscribe to. If you or I'm just using an example since you asked, you posted that cement shoes. What will happen is if you don't click on the name, from the left side of the channel, going to that channel and watching content from that click, from the subscriber list of the channels that you subscribe to, the algorithm and the system says you're no longer interested in that content. Even if you watch that content every time that person puts new content up from what's up next or the mixed bar at the top, it's constantly learning what you want to watch and what you don't want to watch, but it doesn't track if you're a subscriber from watching those videos. And YouTube actually admitted that it unsubscribes people if you're not if you're not clicking on the or going through your list and then clicking on it and watching content that way. It's stupid, and they say they're working on it, but that was last year. They put that notice out that they know that this issue is there. Have they fixed it? They haven't posted an update about it, and nothing on Creator Insider has talked about it. Thank you for another great trivia night. Take care, everyone, and have a great week. You as well, NRPs. Thank you. They unsub me you to see if you're paying attention. I guess that's basically it. But they didn't realize that if you're not watching the content. I mean, I have a lot of channels that I've subscribed to that are on my desk, on my list of channels that I subscribe to. These channels have either been removed or the creators themselves have closed the channel altogether. An example of that is the two magicians. Now I'm drawing a blank on their name. Big guy, little guy doesn't say anything at all. Magicians. Who was my silly joke for you? I watch small and big channels, but that's crazy. Now I got to go view my smaller peeps. Yeah. Penn. That's it. Penn and Teller. Penn and Teller used to have a YouTube channel, but they got into a dispute with YouTube about the content matching and stuff. So they closed their channel down. I'm still subscribed to it, but I can't unsubscribe because they closed their channel down. YouTube closed their channel down for violation of whatever. Okay. And I'm like, I can't unsubscribe, but that's there. And I mean, that's just one example. I have a whole list of channels that I subscribe to where YouTube has shut them down or the creator has left and closed it all down altogether. You can't unsubscribe to it. So it just shows, a little like the wheel that with spokes next to it. You click on it and it just shows there's nothing there on that page at all. There are things like that YouTube, it just goes right over their head. Penn and Teller, yeah. They told YouTube to poop off. Yeah, something like that. Penn and Teller. Thank you very much, Callie Lisa. So if you don't click on the little circle, it doesn't count if you click on the video. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of content. I'm guilty of this myself. There are channels that I have been watching. I thought I was subscribed to it, and then I would, for some reason, I'm watching. And I'm like, oh look, I'm not subscribed to this. I'll click on it and subscribe again. But the only time I ever see them is when they're live, or when it's on that top bar where it's the next suggested video for me. And then I've had this happen to me multiple times with multiple channels that I subscribe to, and it's just like, oh well, I don't go over to the left hand side and scroll down and look, because a lot of times when I do watch YouTube, I'm watching it on my phone, and you don't see it on your phone. You don't see your subscription list unless you hit the stupid arrow. At least on mine, that's the way it is. You have to hit the arrow and then then tap on subscriptions. Well, I just learned what happened to me then. In the thumbnail, I think I accidentally blocked Gemma's comment on your channel. Will, how can I unblock her comment? Um, that's a good question. I can't do it. I would have to be on YouTube, and I know you guys are watching me on YouTube, but I'm not actually on YouTube right now. I'm streaming to all these platforms. I'm not even signed in online, that way, to like I'm not on YouTube using their software and streaming. What I'm doing right now, I'm using Restream, which is a third party software, and then I'm streaming to all these different venues out there. YouTube, Twitch, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, all these things. That's what I'm streaming to in YouTube. But I'm sure if she's around, she'll understand that it was just a mistake. I've done that and don't know the answer. I'll see if I can find out. Hold on. Let me pull up YouTube and see if I can figure it out while we're still here. Well, we went from 27 high of people watching today to 17 right now. Hey, congratulations to us. We lost 3 subscribers while we were streaming. Yay. Just kidding. It shouldn't have done anything, right, Cart? Because Gemma is listed. She's a moderator on my channel, and she has advanced approval as well. It does not show that she's blocked at all. So that's the best answer I can give you. Is it shows that she's a moderator, and she also has I've given her and a couple other people advanced approval to be able to do things and see things on my channel. And she's on both of them, and she's not on the blocked list. So maybe it was the comment itself, but I don't know where she is right now. If she's still here, but if she's blocked right now, I'll look into it later on and make sure that she's not. I was on one of your lives and it blocked Gemma. I believe that's how it blocked her. Your phone in your pocket. Well, I know it was a mistake, right, Cart, and she'll understand that as well. YouTube heard us talking about them. Yeah. can't block a moderator. No, I just pulled it up and it shows that she's a moderator and she's still in the next one down as well. That she has advanced approval. So it's after 2 a.m. She's probably asleep. I would hope so. But ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off here. I thank you all for being here for trivia night. Now, this is the last trivia night that it's on an individual. We had 3 of them in a row. The next trivia night is obviously next Sunday, and I will be here to do trivia with you before I take off. But just understand, it's not on one individual. It may be on something completely different that you might enjoy and that you might know more about. So he didn't block her from your channel, just blocked her from seeing her post. Well, Kitty Coo, I will definitely check into it as soon as I'm done with this stream. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. I hope you all have a terrific week ahead. I appreciate each and every one of you being here with us tonight. Bye.